Hello, hello. My name is Linda, also known as Tortajala around the internet. I love creative journaling and all things stationery. Today, I wanted to give you a quick update on my Esterbrook, the Coffee Monsters Co. collaboration Estie situation. I previously made a video about my disappointment on Monday, to be exact. I didn't expect so many people would watch and comment on the video. That aren't normally my viewers, but I want to thank everyone who commiserated with me and commented to share their stories and experiences and also urged me to contact Esterbrook to get the pen fixed. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it. I really do love this pen community because everyone is so nice and I feel like, I'm not alone in the process. And I realize, in the scheme of the big world of many serious issues, this is a small issue, but it is still important to me because I love my hobby in stationery, I love my fountain pens, and I certainly want to have a positive experience with my things. And I'm really glad to have shared openly and publicly about this issue because I think it's helped others who were unsure of what to do and um, maybe thinking it was only their pen. And also, both here on YouTube and on Instagram, I think a lot of people reached out to express their disappointment and understanding and shared their experiences. And it was just really interesting to hear the variety of different situations that exist out there. So I just wanted to let everyone know and share. First, there were people who had no issues with their pen. This exact the Coffee Monsters Co. Estie, and of course, many people who have different models from the past and that have gold foiling, and of course, they've used their pen for years and they have no issues. But specifically, someone has this exact same release and they've washed their pen multiple times and have no issues. So obviously, it doesn't happen to all pens. Some other people have gotten the pen recently and they haven't yet exposed their pen to water, so they aren't sure and they can't really tell. But some people have also told me that now that they're looking closer, it seems like maybe the gold foiling is not sealed, or maybe it's like not as precise as they thought it should be. So obviously, there's something going on in the manufacturing process, and it might have just affected like certain batches, or maybe it was a certain time frame or something, but certainly not all the pens. And for those who have noticed this same exact problem on their Coffee Monsters Co. Estie, there were also some people who told me it happened to their other Esterbrook Esties. So not the Coffee Monster Co's, but some of the other like cracked ice resin types ones. So it could mean maybe there was a period of time or some variation in the manufacturing that caused this flaw to happen on pens. So definitely something to watch out for. Now, if you have an issue with your pen, whatever model it might be, of course, I would suggest that you contact Esterbrook directly for help. However, some people told me that they simply returned their pen to the retailer. And I think a lot of people did this in Europe because perhaps they assume like it would be really hard to um, contact and communicate and deal with a company that is obviously overseas. So depending on where you bought your pen, I suppose that is an option too. Just go back to your retailer and be like, okay, there's a flaw in the pen, so of course you don't want to deal with the issue and you can return it. Another point I want to bring up is that someone also told me they actually prefer their pen with the gold foiling gone because they like the fact that it's subtle and it's just like, a subtle like Esterbrook lettering logo. So I guess to each their own, right? Like if you prefer it, I suppose a flaw can actually be a feature in this case. But for me personally, I like the gold accents, so I contacted Esterbrook directly, and thankfully, it will just take some time, of course, to get the pen fixed because I have to send it to them, they have to send it back, but they will address the problem since it's a manufacturing flaw. And just to give you a bit of timeline, I bought my Coffee Monsters Co. Estie from Apple Bloom, and I bought it the first day that it was possible to order on April 5th. But with all the demand and the fact that I ordered the ink as well, which was back ordered, I didn't receive my pen in my hand until May 20th. So I inked my pen up immediately that day and started using it regularly, which is why in less than 2 weeks I had finished the ink in the converter and I went to wash it out to try a different ink color. Now, I don't use an ultrasonic cleaner machine or any special solution or tool to clean my pens. I'm literally just taking the pen apart and rinsing with water, flushing out the converter, the nib, the feed, and it's just habit for me to rinse out the pen cap and body while I'm at it, just in case any drops of ink like ended up somewhere. Then I lay out all the pen parts on a towel on my desk to air dry. So I only realized the Esterbrook gold foiling had come off when I was putting my pen back together after it was dry. So on Monday, June 2nd, is when I posted my Esterbrook disappointment video on YouTube to share my sadness. And I had wanted to know if anyone else experience the issue. And again, thank you to everyone who watched my video and responded in the comments. So later that same day, I emailed Esbrook directly, and then I posted about the issue in my Instagram stories. And actually, the Esterbrook official Instagram account replied to my story and said, please email them to get help. So I know that when it comes to these things, it always seems like super annoying just to have to deal with it and wait for a reply and everything. But it really was just a few days. And they did email me back to let me know that they will fix the pen, so I just have to follow the instructions. And they also sent me an official statement because I think they realized that this was happening like more and more, and it wasn't just like a one-off, random thing. And I'm gonna put up a screenshot of what they sent me as their like official reply because I did mention to them, like, I'm in Europe, and I think a lot of people are afraid that, the process this is going to be really difficult because, they're in the US kind of thing. So obviously, they had been working on some kind of process to accommodate all the issues. Um, and so this is their official statement. It says, we want to begin by thanking Linda for bringing her experience with the Coffee Monsters Co for Esterbrook Estie to our attention. We deeply value our community and Helen's and are committed to making things right for anyone affected by this launch. To help streamline the process, we've outlined the best steps forward for resolving any the Coffee Monsters Code for Esterbrook concerns. To start, please fill out this brief survey, which will connect you with our dedicated service team for the Coffee Monsters Co. And then there's the link. And once submitted, a member of our team will reach out to walk you through the return and repair process. We've provided a prepaid return label along with instructions. For international customers, pens will be sent to our German distributor, who will then forward them to our repair team on a rolling 2-week basis. U.S. customers will send their pens directly to our parent company, Kenroll Industries. Please note there may be a slight delay for international repairs due to the schedule. We appreciate your understanding. We're grateful for the feedback and your patience as we work through these issues. If you have any further questions, please don't hesitate to reach out to us directly at info@esterbrookpens.com. So as you can see, I think that they realize like their normal process, um, you know, for all of their customers, uh, was not able to handle all of this because there was probably an influx due to the issues of the Coffee Monster clothespin. And also, like I said, because I had mentioned this whole like Europe versus US thing. So I'm really grateful that they are addressing this head on and obviously offering their solution. I can understand, it took a bit of time to get all of this together once they realized like there was an issue, and it wasn't just a, one-off thing. And obviously it's, their reputation, but as also Helen's because it is her collab pen, even though, I mean, this is a manufacturing issue, so it's really on Esterbrook for me, because they are the ones that are supposed to be the professionals, right, at making pens. So I'm thankful that they, figured out a process to help everyone who have been affected by this, and also thinking of those of us in Europe, because, like I said, there were people who told me or thought that it would just be too difficult because we're, far away. And, some people, like I said, just returned their pens to the retailer. So, in the end, I am happy that this all got wrapped up like in a sense, like I know the solution in less than a week, which I think is really good because I don't know necessarily that everyone would necessarily respond so quickly, because I'm actually going to be off on vacation next week, so I really, really wanted to get all of this like wrapped up. Um, before I left. And so in the end, they're gonna fix my pen. Obviously, it's gonna take some time, but I'm okay with that. Like I can be understanding enough to know that, you try your best to get, your products made and perfect manufacturing and quality control and all of that. But, stuff happens. It's not a perfect world. So as long as they are admitting to the fact that something happened and they need to fix it and they're, coming up with a process to fix it, then I'm going to be okay with that. This is obviously my first Estie, so I only have this experience, and I will report back when I get my fixed pen, even though it'll probably be in like August or something because I am not going to be around to make a live update. But yeah, generally, I have to say, I appreciate their customer service, and the fact that the communications so far have been very pleasant and easy. And like I mentioned, I even got a response from their like Instagram account. So far, I think that they have been very responsive. I don't have any like information on exact time frames because I'm sure it's going to depend on like how many pens they get back. But I guess for me personally, I'm fine because I'm off on vacation anyway. So like whenever the fixed pen comes back, it would be my husband receiving it, and I can ask him to like open it and look at it, but he's not really a pen person, so I don't know if that would necessarily be super helpful. But for sure, I will be back in August with a specific like fountain pen chit chat video, so I can share with you all the fountain pen things that I perhaps have purchased in my travels, and the resolution to this issue as well. Anything else that I post while I'm off is going to be like scheduled content. So that's my update. I know from my last video, a lot of people had good opinions, bad opinions, um, about like the Esterbrook brand, about the pens, just so many different experiences and thoughts. And I think that's okay, and I think it's good. I think everyone's opinion and experience is valid, and you should voice it, because hopefully that will help other people make their own decisions. And also, if the companies are listening, it will help them improve as well. So I think it's good in the sense of sharing, your true thoughts and experiences and passing along that information to both customers and companies. Yeah, so that's it for me. Thank you so much for watching this video. I really appreciate you being here and listening to all of this nerdy pen talk stuff. And if you enjoyed this video, please hit the like button. And if you want to see more stationery videos, definitely subscribe. I wish you a very lovely day and a happy summer. And yeah, until next time, bye.